Bore da pawb. So, this week we're doing a really exciting task for our literacy. We're going to be writing a story all about the chocolate room in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I was really impressed with some of your description last week, and I want you to make sure that this week in your story you use lots of those same techniques, okay? So using adjectives and similes and adverbs to describe how things look, how things move, how they taste, feel, smell. Okay, so description is a really big part of our story writing. But first up, when you come to write a story, you need to make sure you've got a plan. Okay, and we're going to use something called Box It Up to plan our story. And box it up is basically when you have lots of different sections, okay, in boxes that will contain information for the different elements of your story. And it's a good way to plan what you're going to do, who's going to be a part of it, what happens in the story, and how the characters are feeling, okay? So let's start off then. So boxing it up. The first section of Box It Up is who. And in the Box It Up document that's on our class site or that's on your home learning sheet, it says who are the characters in your story and what ways can you describe them. Now in my story, I would like to have Miss Marks and her super dog, Dora. Now, what ways can we describe those two characters? You might want to describe how they look or how they act, how they feel, okay? I'm going to say that Dora wears a cape and Miss Marks dresses as a spy. Now, when you're doing your writing, I'm sure you could get even more information in this box, okay? I haven't got much room on here. So, my two characters are going to be Miss Marks and her super dog, Dora. Dora is going to be wearing a cape and Miss Marks likes to dress up like a spy. Where are they going to be in the story? So on your document, it says, where are they, the characters in your story? Think about how you could describe this setting. Now this one really should be the easiest part if you did last week's writing task, because lots of you have already described the chocolate room, okay? Because that is the setting for our story. So the chocolate room. I'm going to pop a couple of adjectives in here that I use to describe the chocolate room, okay? So the chocolate room is magical. It smells of rich, creamy chocolate. And it has cute candy cane trees. Again, you could fit in even more into that box. Remember, the more we plan, the more options we have to write from. Now, this next one is what. So what or where are they going next? What are your characters trying to do in your story? What are they trying to get to? What are they trying to achieve? So think of this as your character's goal. And I'm going to say that Miss Marks and Dora are trying to stop an evil Oompa Loompa from adding lots of salt to the chocolate. So we've got an evil Oompa Loompa who is trying to ruin all of Willy Wonka's chocolate bars by adding lots and lots of salt. So why are they trying to stop this evil villain? Why are your characters trying to do what they are doing in this story? Okay, so why are they doing this? To save Mr. Willy Wonka's factory, okay? Because if an evil Oompa Loompa fills all the chocolate with salt, nobody's going to want to buy those chocolate bars anymore, are they? Now, there's going to be a problem that occurs in your story. Your problem needs to be something that's gone wrong on the journey to what your characters are trying to do. Okay, so what goes wrong? What happens in your story that causes a problem for your characters? And I'm going to say that Dora gets caught by the evil Oompa Loompa and I'm going to have to try and save her. So this is my problem. Dora, my super dog, has been caught by an evil Oompa Loompa. Now we need to find out who's going to help your characters. Okay, who's going to help your characters solve the problem? Who else comes into your story to help them save Dora, okay, or whatever your problem is? Now, it might not be a human character, okay, because remember, with your own writing, when you're writing a story, you could have characters that are made up. You could have characters that are dogs like I have, or different animals, or they could be humans. It's completely up to you. And I'm going to say who helps is the chocolate weasel family. Okay, so I'm going to have in the chocolate room, there's going to be a chocolate weasel family, and a weasel is like a little rodent type animal, a little bit like an otter type thing. Okay, so I've got a chocolate weasel family that are going to help me save Dora. Now, my next box for our box it up plan is how are the chocolate weasel family going to help me solve my problem in my story and help me get back to achieving my goal? Okay, so how are they going to solve the problem and get to the end destination? What are those characters going to do? So my weasel family are going to sneak into the evil Oompa Loompa's lair and chew the ropes that Dora is tied up with. And then they're going to help us stop them adding the salt. There we go. So, how are my other characters going to come and help? They are going to sneak in to the evil Oompa Loompas lair and chew Dora's ropes that she's tied up with to set her free, and then they will help us stop these evil Oompa Loompas adding salt into Mr. Willy Wonka's chocolate. Now the feelings. This is our last box. The feelings are what the different emotions of our characters are during the story. And these feelings might change throughout your story. So if we think about Miss Marks and Dora. Okay, we're going to do Miss Marks and Dora. We're starting off, and I think Miss Marks and Dora at the start of the story are probably feeling quite happy. Yeah, they've both come into the chocolate room. They've seen the magical waterfall. They've smelt the rich creamy chocolate, and they've seen the cute candy canes, and they're feeling quite happy and excited about their mission. But when the problem happens, I would say that they're both feeling quite scared. And maybe Miss Marks is also feeling a bit worried about Dora and whether she's going to be able to get her back. But when the chocolate weasel family come and help Miss Marks, how do you think she's feeling then? I think she's feeling a little bit more brave. And Dora, when she's saved, might feel relieved. And then both of them might feel happy again when they've managed to work together with the chocolate weasel family to save the day and to stop the evil Oompa Loompas adding lots of salt into Willy Wonka's chocolate. So there's my plan for my story. What you would do then is you need to go onto your story checklist and you need to have a look about what things we need to make sure we've included in our story, like how many characters are in there, the description we need to include, the aim or the problems that the characters come by. And then using this in your checklist, you can start writing your story, okay? Take your time and remember to maybe say your sentences in your head before you write them down. That way we make sure that we've got all of our information or all of the correct words in our sentences. Now, I would like you to start with a description of the chocolate room, okay? So the introduction to your story needs to start with your characters entering the chocolate room. And you need to describe that chocolate room to me, okay? And then you can carry on from there. Now, once you've finished your story, you need to read over it and you need to tick or cross in your story checklist to work out and assess whether you've hit the success criteria and what things you may need to include if you were to write it again. Hwyl fawr for now. Remember to ask me for help if you need it. I'm super excited to read your lovely stories.